I hear anybody saying their vote does not matter, that it doesn't matter who we elect, read up on your history. It matters. We've got to get people to vote. In fact, if you want to give Michelle and me a good send-off, and that was a beautiful video, but don't just watch us walk off into the sunset now. Get people registered to vote. If you care about our legacy, realize everything we stand for is at stake. All the progress we've made is at stake in this election. My name may not be on the ballot, but our progress is on the ballot. Tolerance is on the ballot. Democracy is on the ballot. Justice is on the ballot. Schools are on the ballot. Ending mass incarceration, that's on the ballot right now. And there is one candidate who will advance those things. And there is another candidate whose defining principle, the central theme of his candidacy, is opposition to all that we've done. There's no such thing as a vote that doesn't matter. It all matters. And after we have achieved historic turnout in 2008 and 2012, especially in the African American community, I will consider it a personal insult, an insult to my legacy, if this community lets down its guard and fails to activate itself in this election. You want to give me a good send-off? Go vote. And I'm going to be working as hard as I can these next 7 weeks to make sure folks do.
And here we go again. Now, you might not remember, but that clip I just played, that was back in 2016 when Barack Obama was lecturing black men at the Congressional Black Caucus, trying to, quote unquote, motivate us to go to the polls in order to vote for Hillary Clinton. History lesson: who won the election in 2016 between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump? It wasn't Hillary Clinton. Let's just say that. And fast forward to 2024, here we go again. The shaming tactics and the blaming of black men. Check this out.
There's a lot of black men in here, and I don't mean to, not talk to other people, but this is important. Our black men, we got to get them out to vote. That's number one. Kamala's opponent promised a lot of things last time to the black community that he did not deliver on. And we got to make sure we help black men understand that. So that's why I'm here, to make sure I help black men understand. First, get out and vote, and then vote for the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Magic Johnson could barely stutter his way through that speech. Hey, I don't want to single anybody out, but I see there's black men in here. I want to single you guys out and let you know that we have to help you understand, because I understand and you don't understand, that you got to vote for Kamala Harris. Hey, are you going to do anything specifically for black men if we do vote for Kamala Harris? No, but we're going to single you out and point you out, because if she loses, we want you to hold the blame. If she wins, we're going to talk about how black women really carried the election. But if we lose, hey, black men, we told you you have to get out and vote. Polls show that black men vote, or are scheduled to vote, or likely to vote for Kamala Harris at higher rates than any other demographic of men. And we voted for Hillary Clinton more than any other demographic of men. And yet they continue to berate us and single us out specifically. It's not a coincidence. I think they're panicking. I think they're scared. I think they know Kamala Harris isn't getting the support from black men or black women. But see, they're not going to wag their finger at black women, so they try to point us men out instead. Truth be told, black men and black women aren't feeling Kamala Harris. Now, of course, this video has recently gone viral of Barack Obama this year, just days ago, lecturing black men and trying to get us to go out and vote for Kamala Harris. I've seen people edit this video, so I want to play the full clip so you can hear the full lecture that he wanted us to bear through. And then I'll come back with some closing thoughts. As always, be sure to stick around to the end of the video for some bonus footage I think you might find interesting. Check this clip out.
I'm going to go ahead and just speak some truths, if you don't mind. Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences, who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land and is putting forward concrete proposals to directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhoods and our communities, from housing to making sure that our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents can afford medicine, and making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high and rents that are too high, and are committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act, so everybody's got health care, and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person. And you're thinking about sitting out? I'm not. But, you know, Cousin Pookie might be. And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that. Because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at church, who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time. They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And when we get in trouble and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. That's not acceptable.
That's not, this shouldn't even be a question.
All right, now before I get into the closing thoughts, if you've made it this far in the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. And if you haven't done so already, smash the subscribe button for more content just like this, talking about a wide range of topics with an interesting perspective you probably haven't heard before. Now, with that being said, let me address this foolishness from BO. Barack Obama was the catalyst for the delineation movement we see taking hold in America today. As we all know, Barack Obama's father is Kenyan and his mother is white. But up until recently, the foundational Black Americans have largely operated with a Pan-Africanist mentality. So when we saw a Black politician, young Barack Obama, working his way up the ranks, and he actually had a significant chance at winning, we threw our support behind him wholeheartedly. We gave him, both Black men and Black women, our support at the tune of 95 to 98% respectively. In return for that support, Barack Obama gave us nothing. He sat there and watched as Trayvon Martin was killed by George Zimmerman, and he offered no federal charges there. He blocked Dr. Claude Anderson from suing the US government for reparations. Look it up. Barack Obama gave us nothing. That's why Black men, Black folks, we weren't so excited to support Hillary Clinton. And as Barack Obama tried to wag his finger, saying, preserve my legacy by voting for Hillary Clinton. Well, forget your legacy. You haven't done anything for us. We saw Joe Biden, again, gave Black people nothing in particular. As the delineation movement strengthens, and as we see Black men specifically, the foundational Black Americans saying, hey, we're calling for reparations and the recognition of our group as a specific and unique demographic. As that momentum and as that call to action continues to strengthen, you're going to see this trend of Democratic voters go down. This is historic, and it's not just because of Kamala Harris. It's something that you're going to see more common and more pronounced in every Democratic election or every presidential election this year moving forward. Mark my words. And let me end by saying this. If Black men don't want to support Kamala Harris, it's not because she's a woman. It's probably because she's running as a Democrat who has promised to continue the war in Israel, who has promised to continue supporting Ukraine, who has promised to continue these open border policies, subsidizing illegal immigrants in this country, while shamelessly telling foundational Black Americans, I'm not going to do anything for you specifically. No. There's plenty of reasons not to like Kamala Harris that have nothing to do with her gender. Forget the fact that the Democrats as a party is a substantial risk to democracy. We see that Kamala Harris was replaced Joe Biden as the head of the Democratic ticket with no voter input whatsoever. We see that they shamelessly canceled the Democratic primaries while we know for a fact that Joe Biden was suffering from dementia and would have lost to anyone, likely RFK.
All those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicaid, beat it to death.
So effectively, we've seen the Democratic Party cheat not only Bernie Sanders twice, but now we've seen them also cheat RFK. And you're asking us to support the Democratic Party, and you think we can't come up with any other reasons other than she's a woman? It's ridiculous. People don't like Kamala Harris because of her policies and the policies of the Democratic Party as a whole. Black men are waking up and Black women are following our lead. Yep, that way. Leave it in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Check out this bonus footage as always. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Yeah, let's talk about young black men in particular. Sometimes there's a trend line. You know, I look at the polls all the time, and sometimes there's a trend line that I never noticed before and make me go, whoa. This is one of them, all right? This is the Democratic margin among black men under the age of 45 in presidential elections. You go back to November of 2012, what do you see? You see Obama by 81. Clinton only won him by 63. Then we're all the way down to Biden last time around by 53. A tremendous drop already. And then you take a look at the average of the most recent polls, and Kamala Harris is up by only 41 points. That is about half the margin that Obama won them by back in November of 2012. And this, I think, is, you know, when Barack Obama goes in last week when he was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, essentially talking to young black men, he made it seem like it was a Kamala Harris specific problem. This is part of a long-standing trend of young black men moving away from the Democratic Party, and Kamala Harris is just the latest to face that magnitude of younger black men going towards the Republicans.
That was.
I done ran up all these bands up in hand and made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, there ain't no stopping me. I done ran up all these bands up in hand and made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, there ain't no stopping me. It ain't no stopping me. Got bands, I'ma run it up, it ain't no stopping me.